Hello everyone, I all hope you had a very beautiful day and a very great day here today. As you can see, I'm sitting with Universe today. Here's Universe. Say hello Universe. Hello Universe. So I'm sitting with Universe today. She wanted to be my company member. But anyway, since I'm sitting with Universe, I'll keep on going. Today we have to talk about Lord Justin and his faction known as the Ninth Fleet that is quietly under his sole control. He leads his empire with greatness and with true nobility. Anyway, in Lord Justin's early life, Lord Justin was an infant child who grew up on planet Origin, as I previously told you about. Planet Origin was a world of origin race. He's an alien being. It was extinct by the Lolo Magic and all other serious attacks after it was destroyed. He flew to Earth many, many years ago, and he grew up on planet Earth all these years. During his time on planet Earth, he met with the prophesized child known as Grayson, since their parents were both aliens and they were both superheroes. They quietly lost their parent, they grew up together as childhood, they fought together, trained together as brothers, they were able to exactly train together in elite. Minghua, known as another hero Earth woman, able to raise the two children of the two superhero families and groom them and instruct them to use their powers for good. Lord Justin even joined up with the Universal Heroes in the early years. He became its next founding member. After in doing so, he uncovered he had serious abilities and serious dark abilities and serious energy abilities. He's a hybrid of the two species. He shares shadow energy and origin energy. His father was an eagle, was an eagle origin hero. His mother was an origin member of an alien race of the origin hybrids. She also had origin blood DNA, but Justin was more powerful and more greater than the two of his parents. His powers were very quietly incompatible and very quietly uneasy and neutralized to easier to unmatch with any crystal convergence and reconvergence of the power. Despite this, the only person who can go toe to toe with Justin was Grayson, known as Universal Man, the new Universal Man, and Werewolf Girl and Werewolf Boy, and the other Universal heroes exactly, by able to fight him off and able to exactly extend in doing so. In the early months, Lord Justin discovered a secret of shadow energy and the secrets of his full power and the full capacity of his powers and the full capacity of his energy powers. In doing so, he was able to recombine shadow energy with his origin DNA and with his superpowers, able to use them both in order to combine them and to gain more stronger and to gain more powerful. He infused himself with shadow energy, which granted him more long gravity and more long immortality. In doing so, he became more powerful and he became a sinister, dark villain. In doing so, he betrayed the Universal Heroes and the rest of his team, and in doing so, he seized control of factions of the Shadow Empire. He took supporters throughout the known universe, seizing supporters throughout the known universe and throughout the sacred universe by seizing full control of his faction, which is now known as the Ninth Fleet. The Ninth Fleet is led by Lord Justin, which houses two of his right and left hand men, and his left hand man and right hand man are known by James and Ryan and Ray. Ray is a member of the Havikan core race, an alien race of conquerors that conquer vast worlds and vast civilizations throughout the sacred universe and throughout the sacred world. Ray is Lord Justin's right hand man. He acts in his interest and he cares about his interests. He even fertilized with the experiments. He even fertilized with the experimentation of cybernetics armor and super cybernetics armor and super cybernetics weapons and dark energy weapons and destructive weapons created by the dark druids and by the dark witches and by the dark faithful, which were able to exactly use in order to empower Lord Justin's faction and also his fleet of his battle cruisers in order to wage war. Lord Justin waged war with the other factions of the Shadow Empire to seize full control of his dominance of his faction and of his people. He governs half of his faction and the rest of his empire within his central command and within his home planet, known as Planet Dark, his new central headquarters, where he convened with these commanders and his high-ranking officials of his empire, and by meeting up with the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches in order to discuss the next plan of the operation. When the Shadow Empire still ascended into chaos and still descending to chaos for the past 2 months, the Universal Heroes were still we're still in the progress of making sure that there's peace throughout the known universe and throughout the entire sacred world and throughout the entire sacred universe and the entire sacred world. In doing so, they wage war with all the Shadow Empire commanders and all the other Shadow Empire generals and all the elite forces in order to attack them and in order to exactly to stop the whole war from in order to stop the Shadow Empire from conquering vast worlds and vast civilizations. In doing so, it opened up an opportunity for all the other commanders and all the other high-ranking officials to seize control of vast worlds and vast civilizations throughout the known universe and throughout the entire sacred world. By doing so exactly, Lord Justin was able to strengthen his empire and also his forces. His high-ranking officials, known as a Dark Witch Snow. Dark Witch Snow is a very high-ranking official of Lord Justin's empire. She proceeds in experiments and using shadow energy to create super destructive weapons for Lord Justin's faction and for Lord Justin's empire throughout his home central command, where she creates monsters and super lizard monsters that could easily overrun the Intergalactic Coalition. Lord Justin even waged war with the Intergalactic Coalition and the Sacred Team in order to exactly seize control of the other worlds and all of the other civilizations by doing so, which terribly, quietly failed. Both sides has almost quietly lost the war and were uneasily able to recover from two sides of the faction. The Intergalactic Coalition did everything else in its power to exactly protect the other worlds and safeguard the other universes, but they were easily fallen into the solidarity control of Lord Justin and his faction known as the Ninth Fleet. James, as Lord Justin's left-hand man, he oversaw the conquering planets and the vast civilizations that the other commanders were exactly placing under his full control, which was able to succeed. But due to the intervention of the United Heroes by saving all the other worlds and other civilization, James launched a full scale attack with his fleet in order to exactly stop the liberation of other worlds and other civilizations, which terribly quietly failed. Lord Justin was quietly heard of the news that the founders and the galactic and these secret societies of supervillains are the reason that the operation has quietly went down slow rather than not to let it exactly succeed. He convened with his right-hand man, left-hand man, and also with the Dark Witch Snow and the other Dark Druids and the commanders, and reassured them that by days in, by months in, that the entire universe will be under his sole control. The Dark Witches and the Dark Druids decided to proceed with their own dark ritual in order to counteract the Intergalactic Coalition and the United Heroes, which they did exactly. But thanks to Magic Girl's intervenence and interference, who was able to save lives in all the other worlds, and with Magic Man's help and the United Heroes able to coordinate together, they were able to exactly save worlds and save planets and able to stop the Dark Witch's ritual before it can easily destroy other planets and other civilizations. While the Intergalactic Coalition waged war with Lord Justin's faction, known as the Ninth Fleet, able to exactly fight off his fleet with the battle cruisers, the battle from two sides was able suffered too much heavy losses, suffered too much heavy casualties and enormous amounts of casualties and losses from both sides. Both sides were injured and heavily injured, and the other sides of the members were able to escape through a portal. Some were able to convene with Lord Justin, others were able to exactly escape with the new mission. Lord Justin's private servant, known as Joe, was able to exactly create a crystal monster and other crystal monsters to seize control of other worlds and other planets, preventing the Intergalactic Coalition from seizing control of other worlds, using dark magic to seize the power and the capacity of these creatures in order to use them as a power source to preventing the universal heroes, the universal space heroes, from saving worlds and saving the other civilizations which quietly it actually worked. But the Intergalactic Coalition intervened and exactly saved lives and saved all the other planets, stopped the monsters from destroying the other planets and from seizing control of the other worlds. Joe, the servant of Lord Justin, was able to report back the mission and also the status to his master, and exactly to worry, not to worry about the concerns of his feeling ship that he had the situation under control. He even supplied another organization called the Outer Line, which is ruled by supervillains, who are working on the behalf of the Order of the Six. In doing so, he supplied them with all the technologies to take out the Intergalactic Coalition, and when they quietly did, they exactly failed. He vowed that Lord Justin would rule the known universe and the entire sacred world in the entire sacred universe and all the other universes by any means necessary. Lord Justin conveyed with these members through a video conference and exactly alerted them on the news and on the progress of his assignment and the other Shadow Empire commanders and all the other warlords told him not to worry, that the situation is heavily under control and by any means necessary. Excuse me for a minute.